Steve, a narrow 1-0 defeat here at Hemel Hempstead. Where did it go wrong today?
Honestly, I think we went wrong everywhere. I think sometimes after games you could sit here and you could come out with a load of coaching philosophies and this and that. There weren't none today. I thought it was crap. I thought we was crap in every department. I thought we lacked quality. We gave the ball away like countless times. Didn't create. I don't think the keepers made a save all day. Didn't create anything. Listen, we know it's a tough place to come, and full credit to Hemel today. They were the better team. Not that they had to do a lot, to be honest. But first half was disappointing, but given you're against the slope and it was quite windy, it was quite difficult to get out of our half. So sort of said to the boys half time, listen, it's not been great. Disappointed again, conceding the first goal, which we've done far too many times. But I think the 7 or 8 games we've conceded and we've responded and scored back. So I think we was all quietly confident the second half with the slope and a bit of a wind, we could get higher up the pitch, but it made no difference at all. We might as well have stayed exactly where we were in the first half because we lacked any form of quality today. I can't remember one move where we had a good passage of play, decision making on the ball. We had lads getting on the ball, no one was showing, and then the boys that were on the ball, because no one was showing, just took easy options and we just clicked the ball and it went out of play, or we gave the ball back. We didn't ask them any questions at all today. Now I appreciate you'll have some games where you, for whatever reasons, you don't play well, but you've still got to try and get something out of the game, and I think we could still be in Monday night, and I think it'd still be 1-0 or possibly more. They could have had a couple, to be fair, with a couple of breaks towards the end, but really, really disappointing performance. And I can't find one positive in there today from a performance really from anybody. You could maybe sit there and say we looked a little bit tighter at the back, but given the nature of the game, I don't think they caused us loads of problems going forward, but they didn't need to. We lacked everywhere. They won every first ball, every second ball. Just spoke to the boys in there, and I thought that they looked a little bit hungry across the pitch. They were running non-stop. They were picking up first, picking up seconds, trying to break lines, trying to get forward. Probably the opposite of anything we did. But you still sort of think maybe at 1-0 we might create half a chance, and we didn't even do that. And sometimes in football you don't always get what you deserve. We got exactly what we deserved today, which was nothing out of the game. So no complaints at all, nowhere near good enough.
And you mentioned the goal that we conceded, not a lot in the game today. How avoidable was that goal from your point of view?
Yeah, listen, every goal was avoidable. I'd like to see it back on the video. Initially, I think it came from our throw, where we lost possession straight away, and then they had a bit of a link-up play in the area. I think the shot took a deflection, I don't know. So without being ultra-critical of anyone, I think I'd want to see that back before. There's nothing worse than putting the blame on someone and you watch it back and you realise you were wrong. But again, we've been too easy to score against this year, and that looked like another one, maybe not necessarily just blaming individuals, but it looked like there was 2 or 3 areas in the build-up to it where I thought we could have done better, as they did in their area. They stopped us doing anything like that. Not that we ever really created or got in a position where we looked like we were going to threaten, but even when we did, they were solid at the back. And yet again today, not saying that was a back fall, but as a unit on the goal, we weren't strong enough, and we've conceded again, which is far too many times.
And why do you think there is such a contrast to last weekend's win?
I think we all wish we knew what that was at the minute, and I speak on Spencer's behalf today. The most frustrating thing as a manager or a coach is inconsistency, and our inconsistency hasn't been when we've been good, we've been 7 out of 10, and when we've been poor, we've been say 5 out of 10, where you can see there's a little bit of a bridge that you could gap quite quickly. We've probably either been 8 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. I think today, I don't think we was even 2 out of 10. And that is so frustrating, because you play in a week, you talk to lads, you do stuff in training. I think we've got a decent group here, albeit it's quite a new group, and you've still got people to get to know each other. A few new faces have been through the door in the last couple of weeks, but you could go over all that, and there's no excuse for it. It's inconsistent, and ultimately, and the players, well, if they don't know that, they should know that. That's the conversation we've just had in there, that you can't turn up one week and not turn up the other week. If you turn up and you lose a game and you've run through a brick wall and you've given everything you can, no one can ever knock you for that. But again, we haven't done that today, and then you sit and you think, well, what we're going to be like next week. One week we're Brazil, then the following week we're Botswana. There's no in between with us. And for us to do well this year, or to achieve what we want to achieve and maybe get a little bit higher from last year, that has to change dramatically. Now, can we do it with the personnel we've got in a minute? I personally think we should be able to, because that group we've got has massively underachieved today, and in other games we've probably overachieved. So is it a psychological thing? Is it a fitness thing? I would say it's probably a mental thing at the minute, because you can't be that good like we were last week. You can't be that good at Chelmsford and then how we've been in the games in between. So I think it's a mentality thing. And days like today, we're not seeing enough hunger out of the team. And that's not digging out anyone individually. I don't think anyone's come here purposely today to think, I won't try, I won't put effort in, I won't give 100%. But that's exactly what it looked like today. And it wasn't one or two, it's the whole group. And that group have got to take responsibility, and they need to find a way to do that quickly, because otherwise this season it's just going to be like that all year, and that's no good for anyone. I don't enjoy that. I know Spencer doesn't. The fans won't enjoy that, and the players, as much as we've just told them, they can't enjoy that. And they're not going home tonight going, yeah, we had a real good game of football, and yet last week we're coming off in the FA Cup and everyone's buzzing, it's great. But the only way to recreate that on a regular basis is by livening up and putting performances in. That's why Hemel are doing well now, because they're hitting consistent. We're not. And until we do, it's going to be a long season, and that's something that we need to find the answer to, but we need to find it quickly, especially going next week into the FA Cup.
And how are we looking in the treatment room? We didn't have Teddy and Luciano today.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of minor injuries. I don't think Teddy's is long term. Not 100% sure on Luch at the minute. So obviously that's a couple of lads that you're missing. But listen, we could every manager or coach can sit here every week and say we ain't got loads of injuries at the minute, and we can't blame that performance on injuries today, because it was nothing to do with injuries. We went to Chelmsford with I think 6 starters missing, and best we played. We had Billy missing today. Billy's a big miss, because he's an experienced player that knows how to control the game and might have made a difference in there today. But you can't be missing 2 or 3 players and perform like that, because we've had other games when we've been missing 6 or 7 and we played well. So if you use that excuse today, that's an absolute load of nonsense when you go and play well when you've got even more missing. So it's down to us as a group of staff to get it right, but we're not asking the lads to do anything they can't do. And they've done it last week, but they ain't done it today, and it's as simple as that.
And how much work have we got to do ahead of the FA Cup next week? And do you think that's been a distraction, perhaps?
Well, if it's a distraction, then there is something wrong with the players, because if you're distracted by getting through one round in the FA Cup, going to the next round, then you've got something wrong with it, because ultimately your bread and butter is your league performance. And clubs I've been at, and I'm sure Farnborough have been the same, when you've done well in the Cup, you're also doing well in the league at the same time, because you're hitting some consistency and you're getting a little bit of momentum. So if you're winning your league games, you then tend to go on and you win your next cup game, and the pair go hand in hand. But we know what we're going to face next week. I don't care whether you play teams higher or lower. Like, they've just had a brilliant win against Oxford City last week. They clearly got a little bit about them to come back and win the game the way they won it last week. But I'll tell you what, if we turn up like that next week, you will have a massive problem, because the one thing, and I know this from personal experience in the FA Cup, because I've been on the end of bad results, but I've also been on the flip side of them and had some good results against sides above. If you don't go into next week's game and match their endeavour, their effort, their heart, their hunger, you won't beat them. And it's as simple as that, because albeit there's a slight difference in the levels we're at, but it's a one-off game on the day, and we see it every year. You saw it with them last week. If we don't go into that in the right mindset, you ain't going to win the game. It's as simple as that. When we go, I mean, they will train hard this week. We will work hard. It will be drummed into them what's expected, but it shouldn't have to be, because whether some of them lads are 18 or 19, or whether they're 30-year-old ex-pros, they know exactly what's expected them next week. And we can only do so much with that. We can only work on what we're working in training. You can only pass a message on of what you expect. But if your message to your team is, You've got to give everything you've got. You've got to work hard. You've got to press. You've got to drive on in the game and try and win it. That's a very simple message. That's a message you could give to an under-10s team in a cup game. So yeah, if anyone's mind was on the cup game next week, then they shouldn't have even been here today, because this is bread and butter. And as I say, if you come here today and get a good result at a really difficult place, who are having a really good season. Lee's come in last year, turned this place around. It's not a different football club, and they got a little bit about them today. And we will need exactly that next week. And on the flip side of it, if the boys do what we want them to do next week, you should go into that game full of confidence. But if you don't do that, you're gonna have a long day. So it's down to us as a group to get it right for next week.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Spencer's not well today, so I appreciate you coming out to talk to us.
Yeah, no problem.
Good luck for next weekend.
Cheers, Dom. Thank you.